driving across for the start of the HT550. We've got the sunnies on, however it is raining and pretty windy outside. So I'm braced for the full Scottish experience whilst out on the bike. I've got Anna Riddle with me and I've got Annie Lee with me, and we are going to just have a wee chat. Just want to try and encourage a larger variety of riders to go give it a go, whether that's touring it or racing it. Whether you're a cross-country with it, a roadie or a downhiller, I think you could take it up, couldn't you? You could take on the challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Self-supported bikepacking race in the Highlands, about 550 miles and over 16,000 metres of ascent.
It's just really cool to have something like in Scotland to be really excited about, and something to give you that feeling of like trepidation and like the unknown and that excitement that you normally get when you go abroad and you don't know what's going to happen or what it's going
to be like. We left Fort Augustus on day one, having had like food. You left a little bit earlier than me, and you said to me, Emma, find my camp and come and camp with me. Just keep going until you find me. During that night, and there's no way I would have pedalled as far as I did that night.
Oh, I was so impressed when you rolled up.
I was like, when I rolled into Fort Augustus, I was like, I can't do any more. That was so hard. And that was 10:30 at night, and then I kept going till 2:30, and it was just because someone had set me that challenge. In my eyes, Annie's she knows the route really well from her planning. She knows like where the resupply stops are. She knows the timings of the shops opening and closing. She knows the distances in between them. She knows how many calories she's gonna need to buy when she gets to the shop. And it's amazing. And I'm like,
I drew myself a map of the route and wrote down where the food shops were, and then the opening times, and then a rough plan. I went on like a 5.5 day plan of when I thought I would get to them, so I could kind of work out which ones I would hit and which ones I'd miss.
To actually then you compare it, it's like, well, actually, you did something really awesome. Like, to actually like go in just winging it, essentially.
I thought I should say day one, weather conditions were breezy but dry all day. And then day two, halfway through the day, and it's been dry again. Woke up to sunshine, it's overcast now. So yeah, fingers crossed.
I am feeling flipping awful this morning. Oh.
I want to know, could I do that? Like, how little sleep did you actually get, and how many miles or how many hours a day did you ride? Because then I want to put myself in your shoes and think, would I be willing to do that?
It's really hard, you're saying, you want to hear what we did to put yourself in our shoes.
Yeah.
I don't think you can until you get there and you start riding, because I didn't know about Emma, but I was like, I'm going to ride 17 to 18 hours a day, but I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know what will happen to my body over that period of time if that's what I'm trying to do. And you really have no idea until
so you don't practice going out.
No. I mean, maybe some people do, but I've got no desire to do that. But I think like if you're trying to imagine that, you're always going to be like, no, I can't do that. And it's not until you put yourself in a situation where you're trying to do it that you'll realise kind of how easy it is.
Right, okay, that's interesting.
I'd agree with that as well.
But how easy it is to ride 18 hours straight.
Yeah.
And then stop for how many hours sleep?
4. I did 2 one night.
2 hours sleep. Oh my gosh.
So I think the main thing I've taken from the race is how your body can just keep going.
Yeah.
And you do just keep going.
Yeah.
My sleep pattern was really erratic because I had that competitive nature, I had that lack of planning. Would I do it differently again? Yes, probably.
You wake up, that's when you feel the worst. How did you then feel to then have 2 hours sleep and then get up knowing that you're then...
you just want to go because nearly every morning I woke up shivering. Oh. The first night was really cold, so we were both
It was like a really hard frost.
On and off sleeping.
Yeah, a lot of shivering.
It's like, Annie, are you awake? Yes.
Well, I had a tent, which meant I was a little bit more comfortable. And I was like, I need to sleep 4 hours a night because otherwise I think my body will deteriorate to the point where either I'm not having fun or I risk not being able to finish.
Who knows where we are. So wet. I woke up with like water trickling around my face in my bivy bag. Pretty stunning, but pretty wild. This is the sheltered side. Feels good now to be over this side. I'm having fun. I had a cup of tea and a hot water bottle that I could put inside my jacket, which felt amazing. Now trundling along the road towards Loch Inver.
How did your food fit into this whole scenario? Because I think that would be my biggest worry, is food.
Yeah, I tried to eat before bed and I had these little like recovery, which were a mixture of like protein and carbohydrate sachets that I'd mixed with liquid.
I actually had a plan on the first day for this. So
You had a plan?
Eat on the hour, every hour, and I did. The first day I was just like nibbling something, eating something, and I had a whole variety of things with me. It's like I've got to eat as much as I can, so whenever I think about it, try and eat. And I didn't even worry about what I was eating so much. It was just like, if I could get food in any sort, that will do. I had macaroni cheese, and it was, we had a menu to choose from, and that was the best thing on it for me that night.
Yeah. And it's whatever you can get in you. So like I did one day on cheesy wotsits and Coke, because that's the only thing my body would let me kind of ingest.
Saw each other in Kinlochhew, and we both said that we'd got ulcers in our mouths from eating too much salty stuff.
Oh, really?
Too many crisps, because crisps are really good. It's like salty and really high calorie and stuff.
What a day. Weather. Fine West Coast Scottish weather. Wet, wet, wet. Windy, windy, windy. In your face half the day. Behind you the other half of the day, which was much better. Feeling really good. I've had 9 hours sleep over 3 days. And tonight I'm in bed early. It's only 8:30, so I'm going to sleep 9:30, 30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, and then I think I'm going to get up at 1:30, leave by 2, and go smash out tomorrow. Pushing up a hill. Don't know if you can see me. I'm totally knackered. And it's a big hill to get over to the Carnmore Causeway. And I want to make it to Poolew for like 2 AM. Absolutely burst. 23 hours of riding. I've done Loch Inver to Carnmore Causeway and part way to Poolew. That's a long way. Chocolate croissant before I go to bed. Life doesn't get much better, apart from it's a wet bed.
I'm hearing a first-hand account, much more brutal than you'd even imagine.
But it doesn't feel like that, does it?
And I really don't want it to sound too brutal, because it's I don't know how you explain it. You go with it on the North Loop, and I came into Highlands shivering, really cold, and to the point where I was quite concerned about being on the mountain. But I got into Highlands, went to the hotel, and had a really amazing bowl of soup, which tasted phenomenal.
And I guess it's those moments, those memories that then you'd see you through for the next 24 hours.
Yeah. And seeing people, like I dropped into Ullapool and there was folk from Strathspey, like they're cheering us on. There was another guy I know who lives in Ullapool. Quick chat and catch up, and he was super excited.
Emma had a way more social ride than I did.
Agneshellic descent, let it commence. Fully loaded bike, fresh top up of food, all outer garments off because it's hot. Flippin' awesome as always. Didn't quite clean it. I've got really swollen ankles, I think from overuse. Just had classic Emma moment, going, I don't want to carry on, I feel like crying, it's really hard, and just being quite negative. And guess what? It's because I was hungry from a dehydrated meal, and hey presto, I'm a happy girl again. Well, I woke up on the hour every hour for 6 hours, and ankles are in bits. HT550 is brutal. So what a bad morning. Holy smokes, I could barely walk this morning. I thought my race was totally done. 3 hours of just really slow walking, using the bike as a crutch for my ankles to loosen up. It's not good, but I don't want to have to come back and do this race again, and I think that was the concluding factor to why I'm still going. Saw a couple other riders, they help with morale massively, just general random chit chat. Anyway, amazing caffeine and tonic, had soup, cheese scone, massive slice of lemon cake and a cup of tea, and life is good. Wearing this thermal inside out, which I have done since day one, it's not been off me.
Psychological
it's
challenge?
such a big mental challenge.
So what tactics did you guys use? Did you...
Quite a lot of self-chat.
Yeah.
So like the little things like saying well done when I was eating, or like, oh well done, I had a wee, I'm not dehydrated, like stuff like that. And then you just kind of imagined I was like in a little bubble, and I wasn't allowed to allow any negative thoughts into that.
Okay.
So if I was like, oh it's really wet and I'm cold, and you know, what if you start to think, what if something goes wrong? I just have to be, no, like look at the amazing place that I'm in, think about how fun the trail is right now.
It's just like not allowing that negativity to drip in, which is so easily
It's so easy, and once it starts it's really hard. It just chips away at your enjoyment and your confidence.
And did you cry at all? No. You didn't have tears?
I did, because I did have like ups and downs, but I think I use other things to mentally stimulate me, to keep me away from those thoughts. So, you know, I carried my GoPro and I love taking photos.
Just busy.
When, towards the end of the race, when I had issues with bad ankles from overuse, is what I believe, I definitely had a big downer because I couldn't get my shoes on after a night in the bivvy. And I was in the middle of nowhere, up in the mountains, and yeah, I had a cry. Yeah. But then you're just like, well, I'm on my own having a cry, I have no phone signal, so I'm going to have to just get on with this. Yeah. And I think it's years and years of experience being in the mountains. I think that really shines through as well. But that doesn't mean you can't still do it with less experience. Yeah. I think it just, you need to have that mountain sense. You need to have some sort of basic understanding of what to do if it is going wrong.
Yeah, and how to.
Because in my mind it was like, right, I'm not in a great state. What's the best route out? What's the best scenario for me to do right now? Yeah. And as it happened, it was to carry on en route. And I persevered, and then the ankles were fine. And,
Yeah.
well, no, they
Well, not
weren't.
fine, not fine. You finished.
Yeah.
But I finished.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you've inspired me so much. I want to do it next year. What would you say?
Go out, have some big mountain rides.
Yeah.
Just start
Just
riding.
go.
Enjoy.
ride some big mountains.
Yeah, because the best bit's the training, isn't it? You get to go, you have an excuse to go and do all the amazing riding. If you can get into the Highland environment, and if you can go and experience it in bad weather, it's going to give you the confidence when you're racing and you seek to be tired to be able to make good decisions.
Yeah, time out into the elements and being able to read the map and be like, right, okay, that section is going to take a lot of judgment to decide whether I'm capable right now or whether I just need to go, no, the wise decision is to step away. I think Scotland's unique. Like, we've been out to Colorado and raced something similar, and oh my goodness, yes, we had electric storms chasing us every afternoon, but it's nothing like it was in the north of Scotland on this race. Like, yeah, go out in all weather, and it is exhilarating to be out in the wild weather in the mountains. If you can stay safe and warm and happy.
Go out with plan A and the weather's, and you turn around, that's all experience. It's all going to build your knowledge, your decision making, your confidence.
And I guess equipment as well, trusting your equipment, knowing what's worked, what hasn't worked. Is there any
trusting it and knowing it?
Yeah, knowing it. I think Would you do it again? Never say never.
Potentially, yeah, not next year, but potentially the year after. But I think I'd only do it if I was feeling really fit and motivated to do a fast time. Seeing how hard Emma pushed this year, I think has given me that how much further I could have gone. And that's given me that, like, what if I dug as deep as Emma did?
We both really inspired each other, like in different ways.
Like the end of the first day when Emma rode over that hill to come in and camp with me, and she said, that is the hardest day I've ever had on a bike. And I just thought, wow, okay, that's very different to my experience, but she still made it to where I've made it to. And then I think knowing that as hard or however I was finding it, Emma was still there, only a couple of hours behind me, experiencing exactly the same thing, but maybe harder. And knowing she wasn't quitting, it was like, well, clearly I can't quit. I'm still here.
That inspiration of knowing how planned she was amazing, and the fact that you were getting 4 hours every night and I was just this scatterbox. But then I was like so determined to catch up and then like maybe slot into the rhythm of what she was doing. But then I caught up with her and then she was gone. She did an all-nighter. And
I waited at the shop and then Emma arrived and I was kind of like, Emma must be feeling great. We'll have like a smash fest and finish together. And Emma arrived totally spaced out the box, having done an all-nighter.
Oh my
basically
gosh.
an all-nighter.
So you were like pumped to get going, and she was like, I'm just about to die.
And Emma said to me something like, just get on with it, you could just finish now. And I think my brain just went, oh yeah, I could just ride to the finish.
And I remember sort of looking at Annie and she's like, yeah, so I'm not really feeling it that much, but yeah, I should probably get on. I was like, yeah, you should. You could make it all the way right now. Look at track leaders. Oh my goodness. Annie Lee has just done an all-nighter and she was going over Devil's Staircase as I was sat in Tomic, and we were together yesterday in Kinlochie. She's one hardy cookie. Well done, Annie. Massive thank you for the support that we've had throughout the race. It's been incredible, and I really hope we've inspired a few of you to either get on the start line or go and ride it as a tour. It is an amazing journey.